bit later, right? But until then, I don't see it, right?
So they're all seeing it now.
They're all seeing it. I hope it's not too late, but demography is destiny, Tommy.
And what is the demography for Canada? What's the demography for the West?
Horrifying.
How horrifying? How horrifying?
So,
what can you do about the demography?
So let me first mention just a fertility statement and the demographic statement. On average, across the West, the replacement fertility rate is 2.17. In other words, in order for you to just maintain your population at zero, to make up for the dead, is you need to have 2.17 children.
We're having 1.3.
We're basically an asexual. There's no sex.
Yep.
Okay, so if nothing else changed, I'm not talking now about Islam, you're going down.
Yep.
Okay, now you have.
They use this as justification for immigration.
Exactly.
To keep the money bubble there as well.
Exactly. So the Islamists have long said, I mean, literally, they advertise it from the top of the mountain. We are, and whoever is listening to this, memorize this. We are. I'm speaking now as an Islamist.
Yep.
We are going to conquer the West through three means. We're going to conquer the West through the womb of our women.
Gaddafi said that.
Thank you. We are going to conquer the West through hijrah. Hijrah is the Arabic word for migration.
Yep. So would you say some migration and the immigration we're seeing is to do with their wanting to conquer areas, not just.
Absolutely, and I'll come back to that.
Yep.
And number three, we're going to conquer the West by using your miserable freedoms against you.
And we'll use your democracy to end your democracy.
We'll use your democracy.
We'll use your free speech to.
When we are the victim, when we are the minority, we whine victimhood all day. When we are the majority,
There'll be no
at the neck.
There'll be no minority rights for you.
Now, to your earlier point about conquering, this I think you would know, given your work. Maybe some of your followers don't. Islam is binary in the way that it views the world. There are two camps in Islam.
House of war, house of God. Al-Harab, Al-Islam.
Dar al-Harb and Dar al-Islam. Harb in Arabic means war. Dar is the house, the salon. Okay?
Yeah, so people understand this isn't you putting it into two worlds.
No, this is
Islam. Islam separates the world in two.
Exactly.
House of war, house of God. Yeah.
The house of Islam is any land that is now ruled by Islam. So, for example, currently the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, is made up of 56 countries plus the Palestinian territory. So that's called 57. Okay, that's the OIC. That's House of Islam. Okay, everything else is under the House of War, and that needs to be brought under the unifying flag of Allah, the House of God. Okay, now there's another point to be made here. Any territory that was once Islamic,
Spain,
Andalusia, right? What do Islamic jihadists say? Inshallah, we will reconquer because
they have to. They have to.
Once it has been ruled by Islam, by godly decree, that land no longer belongs to those filthy Christian Spaniards. So that has to go back to Islam. So now let's link it to the Middle East. Israel's got nothing. It's got nothing to do with some Zionists from Hungary and Poland coming and taking over this beautiful land where all the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims live together. It is an existential doctrine issue. There cannot be a Jewish presence, a sovereign nation called Jewish land. It is a cancer.
Because they've conquered it once, it's theirs.
Canonically, it's written here. I can go to the book. It cannot be. So it's not a fight between these little territories and where we draw. There's no Islam. There's no Judaism. It cannot be. Now, we can tolerate you, potentially. There was a time where there were Jews living in Palestine, right? But at best, we will tolerate you. But you having your own dignity, you being more powerful than us, that's an affront to every single thing that is taught in my holy book. It cannot be. It cannot stand.